friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Live Lectures. Dear friends, this is our another session on career counseling called Pratibha Samvardhan. And as we promise, we always try to bring for you different subjects, different topics so that we could help you out in finding the best career for you. So friends, we would like to tell you all that today's session is another important session because today this session is dedicated to the students of commerce or those students who want to excel in the field of accountancy. Now you might be wondering why I'm saying so, because every subject though is very important, but some subjects are close to our heart, and in some subjects we excel, we attain expertise after deliberate hard work. Friends, for this discussion we have with us in our studios Mrs. Ritu Goel. Mrs. Ritu Goel, we would like to tell you all, is a expert in accountancy and she has been teaching since 25 years. She is a torch bearer. She believes that she could change and make a better version of you by helping you out in different ways, by teaching you and by giving you the right path. So let's welcome our today's expert, Mrs. Ritu Goel, once again. Hello ma'am, welcome to the session.
Thank you so much.
So as you have been teaching since 25 years and you have been dealing lots and lots of students, the students with different mindsets, some might or some may not have the interest in the subject, but some have, curiosity to be in accountancy, to excel in accountancy. But before we move forward, why accountancy is important? What is the need to study this subject?
A wonderful question, Gitika ji. To begin with, accountancy is the age-old career path. Why? Accountancy is the basic ingredient to any kind of business. Any economy will need accountants. Accountancy is also important because we as students are not exposed to accounts till class 10th. The educational system in India is highly skewed against accountancy. The students are not given any exposure to any commerce subjects till class 10th. That means a student realizes that he or she, whether he wants to study accountancy, whether or not he wants to take up this as a career, he will be posed with this dilemma for the first time when he reaches the senior secondary level. In class 11 begins our journey of accountancy. Now why accountancy? Accountancy is the most diverse of all academic disciplines. Unlike any other subject choice you might make, like medicine, engineering, you get stuck to a particular specialization. Whereas accountancy will offer you that liberty where you can explore your interests, find out your potential, explore the best fit and then decide where you want to be.
Very true. So one needs to first of all identify what needs, and if one feels so that yes, accountancy is the area one can excel, definitely sky is the limit.
Because also accountancy is not only an age-old career path also, with the opening economies, you find yourself placed globally. The international market is open to us. Apart from the national markets, you can get placed in a variety of roles. We'll come to that later.
Definitely we'll come to that later, but a very important question here is what are the skills one required to have if one needs to be in accountancy?
So first and foremost, the prerequisite to being a successful accountant is love for data. Data is humongous when we talk of accounts. You have to learn to be comfortable with data. Data is information, raw data. Because once you process data and becomes information, then you've already been taught accountancy. But you do not know what you are into till you enter it. Hence, your comfort with data, your love for numbers is a prerequisite. Apart from that, you need to have a very analytical mindset. When I say analytical mindset, we mean that you need to have that logical thinking to derive various relationships amongst the entire financial data that you are downed upon. You need to identify trends, express your relationships to the higher ups. Here, the ability to communicate should also be emphasized, because once you have derived those relationships amongst the complex financial data, your higher ups, the stakeholders to whom you are accountable to report are non-financial people. You are a finance person, you understand what your information talks, they don't. You need to explain that data in a comprehensible language to your stakeholders, to all the various relevant parties who are interested in this accounting information. Accounting can also be a best fit for somebody who is very ethical. It might come as a surprise to you, but the need of the hour is the changing times has become very important for us to emphasize on the integrity of the accountant. You have to maintain confidentiality in all the sensitive information that is to your disposal. Apart from that, the very high professional standards set up by the various institutions also demand very high ethics.
Very true. So one needs to understand those ethics also. But as you said, one needs to be very vigilant and very calculative. So does one needs to be good at mathematics?
That is one question I'm often asked because I take up class 10th mathematics. So because accountancy starts, like I told you, in our country in class 11. Most of the parents, when they come to me, they'll come to me and say, ma'am, my child is extremely good at mathematics. So should I take up sciences? Or on the contrary, ma'am, my child cannot do maths. Should we not look at commerce as an option then? Well, it is a complete myth. When I say you need to be comfortable with data, I don't only mean numerical data. Data could be in any form. It is raw information which you need to process and give meaning to. Being good at maths is obviously an advantage because you can then become specialist in various fields. But even if you are not good at maths, commerce is still open to you. Accounts and commerce are two different subjects. They are not interrelated. Being good at one does not guarantee you will be good at the other. At the same time, if you are not good at maths, does not mean you cannot excel at accounts. You will excel at accounts. I have so many students who are non-maths background, whom I teach, and they score 100 on 100 in accounts because they have that analytical mindset. They're able to make 2 and 2, like they say, in maths 1 and 1 will always be 2. In accounts 1 and 1 can be 11. So being good at maths is not a prerequisite, but yes, it of course adds to your personality as an accountant.
And if one has this analytical skills, will also be helping out the student.
Analytical skills are very important. These are most important. They cannot be done away with. They can be called a prerequisite because, like I said, just making out a balance sheet or just finding out a profit and loss in accounts does not end your work. In fact, that is where your work starts. You need to find out if you have a profit, then why is this profit lower than the last year's profit? What has the company done wrong? If you have a balance sheet, you need to see, oh, I have these funds lying idle with me. Where can I invest these funds? All these roles are now the roles of an accountant. You are no more an accountant only. You are now an advisor actually. And today in the present day scenario, the work of an accountant is more in the capacity of an advisor than just bookkeeping. Bookkeeping now, artificial intelligence has come in. Bookkeeping has been taken over by artificial intelligence also. By simple technological advancement, we are able to take care of the basic bookkeeping of any company. It is the analysis of the same that is required to be done by an accountant.
Now, the another important question which is appearing to my mind, going back to the memory lanes when we were kids and we were deciding what to do and what not to do, and lots of questions then appeared, and now still they are with us because we are dealing with lots of students. What are the challenges which you as a trainer, as a teacher face, and what are the challenges the students face while studying this subject?
Okay, let's first talk from the point of view of the students, since this program is more about entertaining and enlightening the students. As a student, when you are giving your class 10th exam, you have no idea whether you are cut out for accountancy or not, since you have no exposure in the same. So, you need to now go to various career counselors who will conduct aptitude tests for you. They will find out the best fit for you from your answers in those tests. There, the analytical skills will definitely be tested, your logical reasoning will be tested, your ability to make the trends from the relationship will be tested. Once they decide that you are a good fit for commerce, then you should go ahead with it. Maths, non-maths, not important. Accountant should know that his role will be in the capacity of an advisor more than in the role of an accountant. Then let's talk about the challenges faced by the teachers. As a teacher, when I have an account student, I love to teach him or her because you are absolutely a clean board. There is absolutely nothing written on your minds. Nobody has ever told you what accounts is. Therefore, I am at a liberty to show you the beautiful version of accounts. Your slate is clean. It is not already, you don't have a bias or a prejudice against the subject. You come to sciences. If you do not like sciences, or let's say you're not very fond of physics in class 10th and you're opting from engineering, now you're already going with a biased, preconceived notion, oh, I don't like physics, oh, I am not good at physics. It will affect your efficiency, it will impact your scores. But as a teacher of accounts, I'm very lucky. You come to me in a clean slate, I write whatever I wish to. I show you the beautiful world of accounts through my eyes. You are able to see anything and everything that I'm willing to show to you, and you're open to all kinds of possibilities. So I think the challenge is more on the face of the student, Gitika ji, than the challenge with the teacher.
Very true. So both of them needs to work persistently and continuously. Like in mathematics, we say one has to practice, practice and practice. Does this rule we follow in accountancy also?
Oh yes, and more so, because accountancy, not only for you to crack any kind of exam in accountancy, you need to be comfortable with simple additions and subtractions. So I do not call them mathematics, but yes, a simple add, subtract, divide and multiply, you should be quick at that to save time in the exam. Therefore, जितना practice करते जाओगे, उतना ही आपका कहते हैं जितनी चीनी डालते जाएंगे, उतना मीठा बढ़ता जाएगा. And you will go on practicing, you will come to a stage where in your exam, the connect between the mind and the hand should not be called for. I tell my students of class 12th who are appearing for their CBSE board now, I tell them practice 30 to 35 papers of accountancy. When you sit in the exam, your fingers should know the answer. Do not strain your mind. That is the kind of practice we are looking at. And you have various good authors who are giving you various sample papers. Practice them all. I see no reason why you should not come out with flying colors if you practice enough. But practice is the mandate.
It's a kind of meditation when you practice, practice and practice, and then you reach a point where you predict what is the answer.
Absolutely.
And this is a form of meditation.
Very well said. You should be able to know what the question paper is going to ask. Very well said.
So, many students have this ability, they predict in advance what questions are going to come in exam only because they have practice and practice.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
Now, ma'am, we have two sets of questions, students, and we have two stages, before 10th and after 10th. Some students who have done their 10th in engineering, I mean the sciences, now they feel, no, this is not the area we need to go. We want to move ahead, we want to go for the accountancy or the commerce subject. So, is the path right for them?
So let's say I'll answer this question in two parts. What is the right time for a child to enter the field of accountancy? Of course, the right time for a child to enter the field of accountancy is at the senior secondary level. You enter class 11, you take up commerce as a subject. Nowadays, you guys are lucky, you do not even need to take up commerce. You are still offered the subject accountancy with the other options. So, you take up accountancy as an option and study the basic rules, the basic framework within which you will be allowed to work for your entire life now for the next 2 years. 11th and 12th, cement your basics. We come to the graduation level. At the graduation level, a degree course from a good university is what you need. This degree course could be in accounts, could be in finance, could be in banking, it could be anything related to finance and accountings. And not only is this degree course open to commerce students in class 12th, like madam just asked, students who are from non-commerce background, like you're from humanities, you are from sciences, you studied sciences for 2 years and you realize that the choice you made is not the best fit for you. You're not cut out for humanities or you're not cut out for engineering. Good, absolutely no problem. Drop it, adopt the world of accountancy. We are happy to take you in and we will be able to teach you the basic rules and regulations that you need to work with even at the graduation level. Having done your degree course in accountancy, now Specialization, it is the age of specialization. You need to specialize in a particular field. For that, you need to have a master's degree. A master's degree will place you very well in the job market also. Then you come to a job. You take up a job, and even when you take up a job, you need to brush up your skills as an accountant, because this, in fact, accountancy, a career in accountancy is pretty similar to a career in law. Like in law, there will be new changes every now and then, and any lawyer needs to keep himself abreast of the changes. Similarly, a good accountant needs to keep himself abreast with the new changes in the legal framework. Therefore, he needs to take online courses along with the job. You can keep working, you can keep making your money, and you can keep gaining professionally by joining online courses. I think that also places you at a better advantage as compared to those people who do not hone their skills after a particular point in time.
Now, ma'am, my question is pertaining to the students who after 12 feels, no, sciences is not the area where they need to go. They want to make their way towards the accountancy or the commerce subject. Let's not take commerce, but let's talk about accountancy. Does the road open for them, or they need to work extra hard?
Yes. The road is open to any non-commerce student after 12th. After 12th, any child who feels that I need to take up accounts as a career, be it, he could be from science background, he could be from a humanities background, and of course a commerce background. You just need to take up a degree course. You do not even need to take any bridge course that will give you the basic framework of accounts. I have taught students who are doing MBA, they want to specialize in finance, and they have done their BTech, meaning they are from a technical background, they were doing their engineering, and after that they decided, no, they do not want to be in the technical field. A student of mine did his BTech, then he took up a job in Microsoft. Having worked there for 1 year, he realized he did not want to be in the technical field. Fine. We moved him to MBA, and in MBA, we asked him to specialize in finance. I taught him accounts at that level. Believe me, he got up a job as a good consultant in a good, the big fours. He's doing very well now. Married, settled with a baby.
Definitely, one has to find out a way, and one needs to first of all identify himself or herself what we want in life and how we want to make our careers. Now, in this globalized world where we have n numbers of options, one can do anything what one wants. But if one wants to be in the accountancy, how in this globalized world accountancy playing an important part?
Globalization has opened new doors for an accountant. Initially, we were limited to our limited markets. An accountant had to find a job in the Indian scenario. With the advent of globalization, new doors have opened up because an accountant can look up diverse roles in multinational corporations. You can be anywhere in the world. There is no place in the world who does not need an accountant. Let's talk of banking, hospitals, educational institutions, corporates, government bodies, non-government bodies, non-profit organizations. Everybody needs an accountant. So you have diverse roles, and now the whole world is your play stage. So you can find diverse roles in multinational corporations. 1. 2. In fact, I'll just take the liberty to diverse from here. Accountancy is the only career path that makes you the best fit for an entrepreneur. If you're looking at entrepreneurship as a career, then accountancy gives you the entire skill set needed. You need to have initiative, you need to have a long-term vision to be an entrepreneur. Most importantly, you need to have a risk-taking capacity. Now, somebody who's changed from sciences to commerce after graduation, of course, he's willing to take risks. So, your entrepreneurial capacities will be honed by a career in accountancy. Now, once you're an entrepreneur and talk of globalization, the entire world is your play stage. You can have international clients, you can have your network spread all over the world. But globalization has its own challenges also. It's not that it only opens up opportunities. You will need to make yourself aware of the diverse cultural sensibilities. Every culture has its own peculiarities, its own sensibilities. If you want to have a global client, you will need to be aware of the sensibilities of those particular cultures. You cannot be immune to those. So, one. Two, the regulatory framework. The regulatory framework of every country is very typical. Be it the legal framework, be it the social framework as I just pointed out, all these frameworks, the regulatory framework within which we have to work, they are very typical to every country. An accountant must learn to navigate through these easily. Otherwise, you can't hope to succeed in the global world.
So, for that, what should one do? One should go abroad and study and then try to understand what are the regulations, rules, or one can have some added advantages or added internship courses which would help him out.
So, for this, the best way to make yourself globally aware is work in a multinational company. Once you're working in a multinational company, people from all over the world are your colleagues, are your superiors, are people who are working under your guidance. So, you get to have a taste of all different cultures, you need to have patience, you learn to adapt to these people. So, I think working in a multinational company really teaches you a lot regarding globalization. Apart from that, if you take up courses from various foreign universities, these courses don't have to be particularly on the site courses. You can take an online course. All the universities from all over the world offer various short-term courses also, wherein you can learn about their culture, you can learn about their needs, you can also learn about the typical regulatory framework.
In this way, one will learn from cross-cultural communication to work cultural communication.
Absolutely.
One will understand how work culture prevails in different countries, how people work, what are their mindsets, what are the rules and regulation, and many other things. Now, as we are moving ahead step by step, we try to concentrate on how students during the school level, they make up their mind whether they need to study a commerce or accountancy or a science subject, or if they want to go for the humanities. Then we move towards this the college era. Now, the college era is one of the most important eras of our life, where we actually decide what we want to do, where we want to move ahead, and sometimes during our college also we make a great leap. हमें लगने लगता है कि no, this is not the area,
Correct.
this is not the field. So, at what time one should decide during the college level, no, I need to strictly follow accountancy, or if I want to be in this particular field, I need to be very, very strict with myself.
So I think the right decision for that is made at the time of your choice of the course you are in. Because, so this is a dilemma which every parent also faces, every student faces. Like you, if you are already taking up 12th, or you've already taken up 12th, you must have crossed that borderline where you were thinking college or course. So, college versus course is, I think, the timeline where you decide whether you want to stick to accountancy as a career. Is it going to be your thing forever? Are you going to wed this career, or are you looking at some kind of changes or not? So, college versus course is a long debate. Many people go by a brand name, right? For example, let's talk about I am an SRCC graduate. I took a BCom honors course. Now, I have a student who does not want a BCom honors degree. He wants a management degree. He wants to specialize in management. But the brand name SRCC is very alluring. He is lured by that brand name. Ma'am, I want to be an SRCC graduate like you are, but I do not want to take up a BCom honors degree, or I do not want to take up an economics degree. Now what? Now, that is the time you decide whether you want to stick to accountancy or not as your career path. So, again, this is each one to his own. I would always recommend a course over a college. You need to wed the course. It is yours forever. You can only go in for specializations later on. Of course, that world is endless. You could take up as many activities, as many specializations, as many certifications as time permits. But the course is what decides what is going to be your general direction of growth. Therefore, you decide at the time of admission at the undergrad level when you are deciding which course to pursue. Please be very careful. Do not just go by the brand name. So, even while we taking, in fact, this dilemma is what we face at the time of general class 11th also, admission to class 11th. What do? My father is an engineer. My mother is a doctor. I can't take up commerce. In fact, I'll tell you a very interesting story about this. I have two boys. My younger boy, we wanted to put him into IIT. Like all typical mindset of a parent, मेरा बच्चा इंटेलिजेंट है, ये तो IIT क्रैक कर ही लेगा. So हमारे घर में भी we had this complete mindset कि मेरा बच्चा तो IIT क्रैक कर ही लेगा. We put him into Fiji for 4 years. After 4 years of going through that grilling regime of Fiji, Fiji is not easy. My child used to go to school, he used to come back at 3. At 3:45, I used to send him to Fiji. He used to come back at 8. There was no time for play, of course, because we had to do the school homework also. Now, after those grilling years of 4 years, one day, both my boys and their father, they were sitting in the office having a discussion. We are people from the technical background. Like I said, his father is an engineer. And generally, we were talking about our business as to what our younger son should do, what our elder son would do, what our line of work incorporates, what our line of work holds for the two of them. And my younger boy does not pay attention. He's sitting through the entire conversation like he doesn't understand we're speaking in Greek or Latin. He sat to the entire 1 hour conversation. Then we went on to generally discussing. My bankers came in and we were talking about our loan. And we just generally said कि ये लोन तो बहुत महंगा है, हम ये लोन नहीं लेंगे. हमने अपने मैनेजर से बोला. And he said, सर ये तो होम लोन है, सबसे सस्ता प्रोडक्ट है. Can you believe it? My younger one, who was in class 10th, he got up and he said, पर हमारी तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को होम लोन कैसे मिलेगा? And that was the day we decided, no, this son is not cut out for sciences. He's cut out for commerce. So that is the day we decided we wedded him to commerce. There and then we stopped sending him to Fiji. For 6 months of 10th, he did not go to Fiji. Today, he is doing very well in commerce. So commerce में थोड़ा सा आपको decision making करते समय, you have to be very careful. Do not be swayed by what my mom did, what my dad did, what my elder brother or sister did. Usually, the demand of the day is not that if you have a good IQ level, you go to sciences. No, you don't do that anymore because IIT is not the only place to be. Accountancy जितने careers offer करता है आपको, and believe me, you financially very rewarding careers, very rewarding careers. My friends who are from CA background are CEOs of companies, multinationals. So it does very beautifully. So coming back to Gitika ma'am's question that do you wed a course? Yes, you wed a course. You can only make changes if you are not too sure that no, this is not doing me justice, this is not doing my IQ level justice, or this is not doing justice to my skill set. Otherwise, at the time of entering the graduation college, you decide that you want a career in this path.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your personal experience. As being a parent, we have many dilemmas, many challenges, but yes, we need to find a solution. That is the most important thing in one's life, whether we opt for anything in life, but yes. One thing we need to decide. So friends, this is the session for you and we would be discussing more, and if you have any questions, yes, you may contact us. Thank you for watching us.